So hey guys, how you doing? Happy Tuesday, right? Anyways, this is actually my first real attempt at a real blog. So today I am going to my with my brother. Like most people at the end of the month, I'm broke. So I'm going with my brother to take some cans back, and he's picking me up at my other brother's house. I have a very large family. My brother Jimmy, which I don't think he'll mind me saying his name. My brother Jimmy's coming to pick me up, take me to the store. So I figured I would tell you all about that and kind of if I can film a little bit in the car and stuff like that. If he's cool with that, I'll do that. So this is kind of my first attempt to like entertain you. These videos will have to be like one shot at a time because I still don't have the computer set up or anything. I was kind of busy cleaning yesterday, so I never got to have him bring down the computer or anything. So, because my nephew worked on it for me. But, anywho's, I just got out of the shower, and see, you can see by my wet hair. I just got out of the shower. I'm really excited about everything that's coming down the pike and everything that could happen this month, which is really cool for me. I have a lot I want to accomplish with this channel. You know, I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I want to help people. I want to learn some things about myself. I want to improve some things about myself, which I will get into later. That, you know, I've always been right on the cusp of doing what I needed to do to make a difference, and then always kind of backed off, with one exception. When I coached basketball for 5 years. That was an amazing experience, a long experience, so many stories. I'm in the middle of trying to. The book was already finished at one time, and I'll go into that too. But I'm in the middle of trying to rewrite the book, and that's part of the computer and the whole thing. So I haven't decided whether my book is going to be my entire life, you know, like a biography kind of thing, or kind of a pseudo biography just about the basketball years and my kids and stuff like that. I haven't really decided yet. I mean, of course, I'll have to change a lot of names. Some names, I loved every one of my kids. Some names I don't remember because I'm old. No, I'm kidding. No, some names I don't remember because it's been a long time. I don't forget any of the faces. I don't forget any of the experiences. I love them all. They were all very special to me. God, I have so many stories to tell you, which is amazing. And the thing about it is, the most interesting part of it is not so much me being, the way I am, me having cerebral palsy and coaching basketball. The interesting thing was, at the time, my kids were going to that school, and it was more about the politics and about everything else, and how, you hear this on other channels like Squirmy and Grubs and Molly Burke and, a bunch of different channels that I've seen. And I watched a couple where watched a couple videos that I really enjoyed, and I'll talk about, on other channels that I'll talk about later. I don't want to mix up too many names at a time because I want to give you. A lot of times I hear things in videos and people will say, I want to tell you about this and I want to tell you about that. And they tell you about so many things that, it's hard to keep track of. And until I can list it below when I get the computer set up, I don't want to do that to you. So those two names are good for now. Squirmy and Grubs and Molly Burke. They're awesome. Squirmy and Grubs are my favorite. They go through the same thing I went through when I coached basketball was when I felt it the most. And how I got to coach basketball is a really interesting story, which maybe I'll tell you that this afternoon. But anyway, a lot of, not discrimination, but a lot of hate. And a lot of parents kind of, not convinced that I could do the job. And I had an athletic director, I'll say her first name, Rita. And I was like Director Rita, who was like screw you guys. I mean, she didn't say that to parents, but she was kind of like, hey, dude, you know, there's a lot of interesting stories. I don't want to waste, like, I don't want to give you a tidbit of a story, and then, because I got to go in a minute, but I want to give you a tidbit of a story and then ruin, like, how I can deliver it when I actually tell the story. But Rita is one of my favorite peoples, and she stuck by me, and she stuck by me the whole 5 years. And then, I had a younger, God, see, I love to talk. That's my problem. I love to talk. Anyway, I'm going to tell you more about that later, but I'm trying to decide whether the book is going to be about my entire life or if it's going to be, I'm looking at the clock, by the way, if my brother's on his way. I'm looking at the clock if any of you are wondering why I looked over so many times. Or it's going to be about just the basketball time. I could really, there's a neat story at the end of it. Also, there's there's kind of a Cruella de Vil involved in the story at the end of it. In the end, she kind of gets her, well, it's true. In the end, she kind of gets proven wrong. And not that she was a bad lady. She wouldn't have been my assistant coach if she was a bad lady. She wanted to be the coach, and she actually learned that what I did was not so easy because I let her learn that. I really didn't care at that point whether she got the new athletic director to take the job away from me or not. But anyways, there's a story there, and then at the end of it, it has a happy ending for the kids too, both the boys and girls team. That's right. I coached both the boys and girls teams for 5 years, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Now I didn't do 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th every year. Sometimes it was 5th and 6th. Sometimes it was 7th and 8th. I never did 7th and 8th for the girls because they had oh my God. I don't know his first name. Yeah, I do know his first name. Mr. P. We'll call him Mr. P. Mr. P was the coach of the girls' 7th and 8th grade for almost every year I was there. He was the coach of the girls' team for 7th and 8th grade. I think I coached for him one time. But other than that, and he coached for me one time. That's the kind of relationship that we had at the school. But anyways, so I never coached the 7th and 8th grade girls, but I did the 7th and 8th grade boys twice. And I did, oh God. See, now there I go off telling my story. I'll have to wait to hear the finish to that when I can sit down and tell you the whole thing. I just love to talk. I could sit down here for hours and just talk. I hope it makes sense, and I hope I'm not just rambling. I want you guys to have a good morning, and I might see you in a few minutes, but this is part 1 of my day, and hopefully there'll be a part 2. Stay tuned. God bless. Take care.